Hello, everybody, to now a coordination manager work group. We changed the name from just inviting people to demo, even though there is gonna be a demonstration of today's session or like tools and updates that we have done previously. Um, in today's call, we will go through a bit of what happened last time, uh, what have been updated by the time we are doing this new call, show a bit of the coordination manager itself, and then let the discussions kind of guide us to our next steps and things we will expect from the tool, or even in general of what do we want to create as tools, because we don't have to stick in this like one platform or application. Um, and today is joining me Rems and Peter Elfrick from Ambassador Program, where this concept idea got started from. I shared a bit of the historic background in the previous session. There should be also a meeting summary somewhere, but maybe not. I don't know where did I put it. Not in the Maro part. Um, So is casually, I kind of like to color code my like motherboard. If I zoom out here on the top part is like meeting sessions in these boxes, and below here are some of like visual ideation I've been doing, which I go into later. If I zoom into the last weeks or like almost 2 weeks ago session, the most feedback I got was regarding the onboarding. Like we had a lot of like stuff in the coordination calendar page. Now it looks a little less like dense, and all the like functionalities pushed into actions for now. But that gives us like a next leap to kind of navigate and see can we like make like all these pages look even less dense for them. A huge improvement to the like homepage. Previously it was basically very raw and not really thought through. Where now it took the discussions from previous week. I tried to implement in first go of like general stuff that people would expect to see from an homepage, and main two actions people usually I expect to take with this when they just are in homepage. They either want to join somebody else's meetings because yeah, it's coordinating, or they want to create another meeting for others. Another thing was like there was no like clarity on what is this page for, what you are on. So now there is like this learner guide by default to all users. Can disable it, which has like some pages don't have it, but yeah, but there is like a based on needs, a more guiding like tabs and like these question boxes which explain the feature you want to like play with around it. So you can yeah, look at for these question marks and kind of know what you're doing here. Um, as you can see, menu bar also has slightly updated. So the two main parts are on the top, what I just showed, the events, and then the coordination calendars, which are like where you make this coordination happen. And all the tools are now in this one huge leap. There's about like Discord Guardian, which is actually not anything about this this coordination manager at all. But there was a need where like looking into how to yeah, defend against spams and scams basically in Discord environment. But this could yeah, be like implemented to all other platforms if, and I guess this is another like separate product that we turn into. Right now it's integrated into this system for testing. Um, yeah, so homepage, a bit of like improving the visualization. Yeah, huge, I guess the importance add to my calendar option, where now in Discord you get like this button that takes you to meeting page. I didn't get to it. So all of these purple stuff are actually still uncompleted. So homepage is not completed. Maybe we can discuss how to uh, even further improve it. But there is already enough information that I haven't just had time to implement everything. Then like I integrated Luma and Zoom, but both of them have like huge downsides. Zoom requires official domain, which I can be bought and already prepared like the like what is the technical review process. So these kinds of things were needed in order to make a Zoom application, and that's the only way they allow like generation of Zoom accounts to other applications. And with Luma, in order to generate Luma events, and I don't know who use them, but these are like a way to meet or also a nice way to coordinate basically. You also need a pro account. So that was now okay, let's make our own like meeting page. So this is the meeting page right now, which is basically just like an item card, but has this calendar option and .ics format, which is basically a file which can be opened with Outlook or some other open source tools that read this format. Um, so yeah, basically an inkling of a starting page, but not yet like colorized and stylized. Emails are not yet enabled. That's far more job or like a task that I first thought of, but it will be coming. It's just that I feel like the privacy allowing to me, I want to be like privacy first, so that people choose their networks and they need to like basically change hashes if they want to see each other and then expand on each other's networks and be like more visible, show what roles they have or their availabilities or yeah, any ways they prefer to be contacted. Because one thing we're pulling here is very powerful tool. Like I was just thinking earlier today that I used to do like ERP system work where like in warehouse and make like Excel systems that allow to easily buy products. Average rate of like a year cost was like 1 million to buy like materials. And then in one day, one person made 17 million purchase. And then everybody's like, holy shit, what happened? We need to redact all the sales orders and stuff. And then basically I had to spend more time making new tools to redact sales orders. Um, so yeah, having this kind of very clear guidelines of what you're giving people access to and who has control of data and what it will impact, I think is very important in the flow chart of like slowly building up your permission management. And that takes time. But yeah, I'm getting closer to this like blast newsletter. Technically, yeah, right now the emails are not implemented, but the blast in general is there, like with the Discord messages. Um, and finally, as a facilitator, I want to be able to quickly access user to join. Yeah, and that this joining and like it's somewhat already being added to this distribution message. But it will be overly more improved as this privacy information is gonna be more available. But yeah, for now it's like optimized for speed. You can see general like channels and the names of your friends and people you are contacted or the server is connected with. And the whole the AI is a bit smarter, more better filtering options, more logical. Um, so yeah, a lot of this kind of fine-tunement of basic tools. Um, and so that's like the follow-up of or like a close-out of last session. I kind of touched on new updates too. Let me check on Cloud Update because before the call started, I asked, what did I do and make a report? Let's see if can I, is that something useful? So that's AI report based on the GitHub pull request. I asked to take everything of that. It had 17,000 lines changed, 100 files updated, and 21 commits since the last time we had a meeting. And then the summary of that is Discord Guardian, Zuma, Loom, Google Meet. Oh yeah, Google Meet is the only one that perfectly worked. You just click it and it just works. You don't need to pay for anything. You have to do any extra security, just auth access and that's it. Um, Miro board integration. Oh yeah, that's yeah. I will show you later these diagrams, but these basically are generated based on the current structure. Import availability model. Users can now import available data back by new API routes. Yeah, basic user kind of. Um, that is what bothered me in when to meet, and it's kind of funny that I implemented it so later in the performance. But let's say, okay, let's use the test, and I have somebody sending me this like help, and then I want to. But basically, there should be a button here that maybe it appears when I no that shows me other like patterns I have done, and then it just automatically applies that because it's most likely if you do the same thing in the same week, your availability is very similar. Um, March 13. Should be there. So I need to check why it doesn't work. Um, Calendar, events, overhaul, events, calendar, and coordination pages. Yeah, I kind of showed to do them a little, like really just as a glimpse when I went through that. Now there is like far more, yeah, clarity. You can click on stuff. Like if I clicked it out, everything is singularity and ambassador. But if more people start to make their like organization events public, if you click on them, they will see like more details of what kind of event this is about. And then, yeah, manually all of these different coordination calendars also appear. And you have your own coordinate events where you kind of import those stuff in or yeah, create your own stuff. Right now, these I haven't imported Singularity from here, but actually created account with Singularity to publish Singularity events. So that's why it's not appearing on my calendar. Um, Yeah, time zone fix. Yeah, the time zone stuff. Eventually I want to bring that all back, but that's just right now I'm just forcing it to UTC and making sure that I get this like one streamline figured out and then enable the time zone complexity. Calendar AI panel, um, side panel for eyes. It's kind of well, basically it was always there, but now yeah, all the AI features are on the like side panel. So whenever you move around, that the assistant kind of remains in a place. Um, and then also slightly changes its role, like operator, composer, guide, because they have like different API functionalities they can access. And the point is that if you don't want to click stuff here or allow stuff, you can just say um, after, yeah, okay, now it's even suggesting a specific time frame or use busy times, and it tries to figure that out and applies marked morning slots at 3 a.m. as available and 9 a.m. to 12 p.m. So that frame shouldn't be available, but did it. Uh, it's well, right now I don't understand it. It did it. Yeah, not everything. So yes, sometimes you just need to complain. Did it work? Uh, Nothing was selected. And you say, I know. bad and didn't trust. This is basically a feedback chart. And all of this feedback should go to me, whoever posts stuff. I will be seeing everybody's feedback, and then, I can rinse that back to the AI, and yeah, look at this change or why it's not working. Okay, this is gonna take a while if I go through all of it, but yeah, AI, UX design stuff, admin, security, and different database schema evaluations. So these are all this kind of uh, all these fun charts that kind of help us to see the architecture of all the API servers and discourse integration, front-end, back-end tools, and more servers, services, database tables, different kind. I wanted also like a clarity on what kind of database fields are used, what the names are, because even when now as I start to like communicate with the cloud to hey change this or that, there is misunderstanding because it all just keeps generating new tables and new data slots, but it sometimes put a similar title or like doesn't put like things in a correct or logical order. So you start to kind of fix the logic and then having to see what kind of like metadata it's getting, and it's also easy way to update the database structure basically. Mm, yeah, and so there is different flowcharts people wanted to know uh, if you want to get into like improving the user flows. We have now ability to just generate the flow and use that. Yeah, the events calendar. If there was a complication of like describing even how the calendar should work, so I had to draw him these boxes, and based on that, adopted the version that's currently in use, but we can decide to change it. But it's also like an interesting that you use design to speak with the cloud, and now it's like two ways where it generates your architecture. You can update the architecture, and it updates the architecture based on your visuals, and it's it's crazy what is possible and saves so much of time, like thinking just to get to the point of intent that is been trying to done. Um, so yeah, designing with flow showed generated assets, so all of these links to all these other diagrams that I pulled are on here. Code generated Figma assets. Yeah, and I don't know, was it last time or somewhere else there somebody asked like, can I see Figma results? I never used Figma, so I didn't even know what to expect. But basically, I started to create just a uh, Figma onboarding slide. Maybe this is like helpful to see what are the main things when like a new participant is being asked to add stuff. A facilitator general like flow from not logged in account to from where to go, what to connect, in what features to use in order to like distribute, like create the calendar to distribute the calendar and invite people. And then a huge, big, many of the pages and all the features are kind of generated. And it's very similar. It's still like different and odd, in a sense that it's not as the live platform, but it creates like usable and touchable framework. I don't know how, the Figma users or UX designers use them, but this is like the start. And if you're aware what to do with them next, then there is opportunity to automate here from earlier. Okay, now I've done too much time, 20 minutes to go through all of different stuff. What do you think of this information overflow? And yeah, what you think what we should be focusing next or building next, or what you think of current strategy?
Yeah, for me, I like it. Not really having strong suggestions on upcoming features. I've used it a couple of times and seems to be working as expected. Had some issues syncing my own Google Calendar, but this might already be, I think that was like a week ago, so I'm not sure if that's still accurate. I have to deep dive a bit more into the Myra myself. So I'm not sure if that link is available in one of the process channels. Ah, I see. You are quite muted, by the way. I'm not sure if that's intentional, but I do see the link there, so that works.
Yeah. Which link you were looking at? The Zoom link or the add to calendar link or that link? Yeah. We were talking about this still.
No, no, no. I was just asking about the Myra, but I see that link there, so that's no problem.
Hmm.
I'll just saying, yeah, from my side right now, no strong direction or strategy input.
Oh, yeah,
I
good
did see
point.
you discuss with Demonics quite a bit. Sounded like I was not quite getting all the details of that conversation, but it also sounded like it could be potentially interesting.
Um, yeah, I wonder though. Uh, so for all the video audience, and I might skip this section, but I'm gonna enter into Discord Guardian to see what kind of information is available there. And if there is too much private info on the first dashboard, then this video is gonna be skipped. And but yeah, in the Discord Guardian section, basically wherever this is a totally new bot that can be added, right now it's actually flagging messages. Somebody's spamming it, blocking URL coding, but I don't see a message. Ah, because maybe they are deleting their message. Yeah, I wonder. Like this information, we probably should look in the Discord admin mode of what is being done with them. And potentially auto mode is taking them down. Okay, for now, this recent scan messages says that, okay, there are a few things that I'm missing here. One is the, like no content can mean they just join to a new server. And then it has like the system message instead of person writing anything. So I have to like differentiate out of them because there's a lot of people. Or everybody who puts an name, these are weird stuff. Mass ban. Ah, okay. Demon is using some kind of uh, bot function to ban people. But yeah, essentially, so that Demonix doesn't have to do it manually, that bot who should technically be able to do that. Um, because all of these no contents maybe are like similar IDs. I could actually test copy ID. Yep, mass banned. Whatever that got flagged got banned by Demonix. Some of them are no content and get flagged. Some of them are no content don't get flagged. So right now it's hard to kind of differentiate what is new user, what is just a picture, because I won't be able to see inside the picture unless I do an AI analysis on that, but that will cost. So yeah, I can add the model on top of that and make it even like crazier if that is needed. Hmm.
Well, so just a note, Demonics also runs all kind of screening for known scammer accounts, so that might also be relevant there.
Oh yeah, so verifying all the people that we don't need to check. Yeah, in general, all this filtering should be improved. I wonder right now if I go into I added something like categories. Okay, which so basically it's in the configuration page. We can have like different groups. You can create as many groups you want. They have a regex and then they have this Wildstar matching, same as auto mode in the Discord, but it just goes more deeper and we can then the next step, I guess, what to implement there is more like a behavioral rules. That is something that none of the, at least none of the scanning tools I know provide. But as for filtering, yeah, here it filters also the wonder based on what usernames.
Well, I think that's what I mean. Like, Demonix is active on a whole bunch of different servers and also has information from that. So that might be the source.
Yeah. But I kind of get it. Right now, it's uh, basically pulled in a way that if there is a bad actor, how can we like figure out what he done? But there is interesting um, reasons there. Oh, maybe if I have a jihad like that. Yeah. Well, now at least we have data. Before I didn't have any data. And yeah, right now we cannot even see why he got banned, but would be basically the main information we are missing here is more context of what kind of, if there is no content, was it a picture? Was it a system prompt? Was it a forward? Like what kind of Discord measure it used that got this banned or not got the banned? Because the idea is that here we browse data that is going through and able to assess like should we somehow give it a different onboarding flow or write out of like time mute them. Because for me, the first even why I brought it up was like in Swarm and in Odin, we constantly get these people who ask like, hey, can we get dev work? And I kind of don't want to ignore new people who join up in your Discord server. But then again, many of them seem to be bots. So giving them this kind of bot response to take next steps or fill surveys or provide more context, I think is a new, yeah, next step we need. And now it comes back to maybe this is a coordination tool because and maybe this is the right place to have this Discord bot running and it doesn't have to be a different infrastructure and server. So there is this decision making like to be done yet. But yeah, nothing else really to show about Discord Guardian for now. I wrote down allow filtering out who we don't need to check, and more context on no content info, system, pictures. And yeah, maybe we can incorporate in what the Monix is doing mass spanning here, because if we're doing mass spanning in any of the servers, it would be great that all the other servers that are in this network can kind of trust each other to moderate. Um, it kind of refrigerates, or how do you word that?
Yeah, so it would be a bit like a
Share
global ban list in a
ban.
way, right?
Yeah,
I think
allowing share ban lists.
I think that's what Demonix himself already has in place across his own servers.
Yeah, it's unclear, is it operational or is it actual bot doing work behind his behalf?
I assume that's automated. Just looking at the timestamps, well, it's all over the place, but
No, you're right.
not.
That happens. Okay, some of them happen every like 15 minutes, but then we have random. So maybe, yeah, it looks like it either he runs a script to do that, or he gets a list of like this word text and then puts it in and manually prompts it. But I'm sure he has, considering how much he triggering that and how many people get banned, it's probably automate the process. But either way, it could be better. Like now we could take this list and apply it to other community members who were not aware that all of these are banners. And when before they even joined, they get kind of sidelined, and then all the bots are confused, like why they can't get in. Always mentioning for all, so for those who are watching from a video, that you can create feedback to me on any features you're interested and send it to me, and then I will be able to address it. I should make this section um, manually expandable. Yeah, I really need to like figure out how to make this platform in a way always shareable, so that I don't show too much information in videos. Yes, Peter, you have hand up.
Well, just a little question on the feedback side of things. If I respond to DM by the bot, does that reach anybody? Does that go anywhere, or is it just lost?
I think right now, again, this video might be clipped because my information in private again might be different. Commands enable link feedback, submit feedback. Aha, I do have feedback. And
Yeah, okay, got it. Okay, that's cool.
then
I was
I go
just
back.
wondering on, just like a week ago, I responded to some of the messages I got by the bot. And I was just wondering, like, yeah, does it even make sense to reply to them, or should I just? Well, apparently I need to use slash feedback. Makes sense.
But that was a good question, but I
I would
didn't.
kind of just capture all the DMs the bot gets, right? I mean,
You mean yeah, I think okay, I can check. Still in a way that is a good question that bot needs to let people know that yes, they are listening. Check if they can read direct messages without commands. Because I'm not clear if that's possible, and I don't know if we really want to make that like just reading messages, or we expect people to be specific that they want to give feedback. Else the AI can be reading text, but I think there is more features to be included where you can just communicate to AI bot. I think that's something I wanted to add, but I'm not sure if it's implemented. Just checking. Yeah, so currently they are not responding to like, you can't say to Discord message, okay, go to this meeting, apply my time in this, or create a coordination calendar with these people and prepare the distribution. All of this capability is already built into application, but the bot doesn't uh, channel that information, but I think it should. But if you allow like multiple ways to communicate, then it's cool to have like this intentional like use slash command. Mm,
yeah, fair. Well, I think if it's a lot of work to implement, just natural language in DM to the bot, I imagine that would be relatively hard to implement. But
no,
at least capturing what somebody sends to the bot, and then at least you get it somewhere. I'm not sure how, but
okay, but that would be then admin control. Like, yeah, because right now, yeah, this comes back to this privacy and policy thing, and like what I started off in the early call. I'm right now trying to figure out, yeah, like then if I like include this capturing, it always needs to be somehow enabled first, but that could be an extra feature for the user to enable to say, allow bot to capture everything I say and send for analysis. Like a cookie usually happens, but we don't use cookies. We just, people have to deliberately know that this feature exists. We can maybe throw some hints in onboarding flows. And in the settings panel, there will be like all of these permission options and access options. And one of the access could be that allow admins to see all messages. Would that be sufficient uh, to what you are thinking? Or would that lose the thought of what you had in mind if others have to first agree to like enable accessing their commands or like storing their commands? Because like there is a difference right now with like governance workgroup dashboard where I don't store the commands until you specifically say you want to store them in the feedback, for example. This only happens if you go to the role, you apply the role, you agree that you are going to store the prompts and the feedback, and then you get the feature to send feedback.
Yeah,
It's a
in a
bit
way, I would lower the
convoluted.
bar as much as possible. Like if somebody has feedback and puts it in DM to the bot, that's it. Like, yeah, anything that can make it as simple as possible, that would be great. On this consent, asking for consent kind of thing, yeah, in a way, I mean, when I use a bot, I assume somebody's reading along. That's not how consent works, of course.
Mm.
But yeah, if you just get a message from the bot because you used it, then it will send you messages, right? So at that point already, I feel like if I reply with, I don't know, some kind of feedback, um, it doesn't tell me I need to use slash feedback, for example.
Mm.
So for me to know that, yeah, I don't know that, so I don't use it.
But if it
So I
would
just,
say that and kind of keep reminding that you can use slash commands to use AI and to use feedback feature,
yeah,
will that be enough? Or it still will be much simpler to simply just assume that everything they say to Discord is either an AI command or a feedback command. And then, yeah, we can make it like two-step, like you send a message and then the bot asks you to confirm that do you want to send the AI prompt or do you want to send feedback and like asking did I understood you correctly? And if users confirm that, then it executes whatever it was designed to do. But yeah, this all assumes we can do the normal reading of direct messages, and Discord allows that.
yeah, fair. Yeah, it would depend on that. Um, yeah, asking for this confirmation, I kind of assume, yeah, that's kind of good. It's better than just automatically capturing anything, but mm, yeah, I would say lowest bar is just capturing everything somebody tells the bot in DM. But there might be some issues on consent there. That's good to be aware of, at least.
Yeah, I don't know. What Cloud does, it always gives this option to routinely allow all the time any kind of thought process, which, well, so far hasn't backfired. But every time I close the session, I have to start again. But even still, um, maybe spent about $2, $3 wasted of computation power because I didn't stop him for going the wrong path. But it hasn't done any harm so far. And right now, the harm of, yeah, it probably the only like leak is that the admins of who have access to the database anyway can see the messages. Right now, there is like a lot of stuff is basically used and deleted, discarded, and only the user in their cache maybe has it, but I don't even get like the what AI prompts you're using. Although cloud or like the ChatGPT database maybe gets it, and I haven't integrated it. So yeah, there's always somebody who's data controlling something. But right now, I'm trying to avoid as like yeah, storing as much data as possible. Although in some aspects I need it. So the fight between data controlling.
Yeah, fair. So maybe, well, in that sense, you could put a disclaimer like interactions with this bot might get captured, something like this. But yeah, let's first find out um, if it actually can.
Okay, well, and today we discussed a bit of onboarding stuff. I don't know, do you want any quick demos, want to check Figma files, architectures, or uh, something else that I kind of glimpsed over today?
For me, not well. I have 6 minutes to another call, so I'm good for now.
Okay, then let's finish the call. From my side, I think, yeah, the biggest things that are still yet like unsolved is the marketing agent, which I slightly discussed last session. But yeah, I want to kind of catch up with also the expectations of the users. And now as I'm like going through final round of like implementing these onboarding styles, everybody who now looks at the video and saw all this like small demo, and yeah, you see that the improvements were made or not made, or you feel like directions are taken elsewhere, or like the other problems you noticed in the blockers. You can add more suggestions how you want to yeah, navigate some of these tooling features. I'm also looking into more open source tools to integrate. I noticed, for example, we are using a lot of Zoom, but there's a Jitsi or something, and that makes it, as I understand, quite simple to integrate. So maybe something to jump in. But another side is like there is no push for me to implement any new features unless somebody asks a feedback, joins the call, places a roadmap. Until then, I will be basically just doing as I see that uh, like see fit to use it as my own tool. I do feel like something that wasn't mentioned yet, and I feel like the new direction is to go to Telegram and potentially even Mattermost, because there are like the Singularity Net members who also probably want to coordinate. And yeah, we'll see where the steep funding is going. But I was just checking up or catching up on their videos, and looks like they also want to like enhance the way they communicate and prepare stuff. So connecting more accounts, more distribution channels, maybe gives this kind of uh, inspiration or empowerment to try this tool. Um, and hopefully one day this is enough to like cover any other stuff that we always troubled or have paywalls. But now we have our own tool for that. Mm, yeah, if this work starts to slow down as the feedback, then I may start to like step out of the product development and more into like planning like this agent orchestrator that is taking these kinds of meeting summaries or any other meeting and starts to create and implement similar products. I will also want to start like yeah, playing more about like standardizing mm, and like yeah, basically standardizing the charts and flowcharts so that there is more chance of one-shotting the implementation, like learning the communication flow between like visual designs and yeah, textual designs and expectations and intents, um, and to yeah, get more out of this platform, and also feel like, okay, where do we need to differentiate products so that, but make it also easy to kind of jump between different applications without having to log in constantly or change access. Yeah, probably there were some more stuff that I could say. Yeah, regarding when do we meet next or what's gonna happen next, there I'm gonna prepare quite quickly another call. Another lesson is that, okay, even if people provide the time when they would meet, there is a chance that you still kind of they were not able to join that time, and I will not able to live see if they're confirming that time, because one is they're showing availability. It doesn't mean that by the time, because it took another week to kind of get this list, and with that week times can change. Oh no, now I have import button here. I don't know what happened before. That was the feature that I can load from any other stuff, uh, test new stuff. I have a lot of different meetings. Yeah, and it adds this like time availability. Anyway, that was a feature that didn't work at the beginning of the um but yeah, I don't know where I was, but there basically updates are coming, lots of plans, um and idea to kind of, yeah, standardize and move out of just pulling this tool and to many other tools, or potentially. Or maybe it's just gonna be one huge Frankenstein SaaS product that just keeps getting bigger and bigger. Um, those who are interested in tokenomics topics and how to like incentivize it through cryptographic ways, all the interactions and data sharing, most of that the discussion may happen in the auditing calls. And if you don't know what they are, well, find me and ask me. For now, thanks for watching and see you somewhere in Friday time. That's why I opened it, I remember. Uh, there was this meeting around 10 UTC on Friday. Let's see what the new audience there will be able to give feedback to. All right. Thanks for joining. See you.
Nice one. Thanks for hosting.